What's going on, AG Nation? It's Frank Bernardo with the, what are we doing here? Recruiting Boss and Real Estate Coaching Club. And today we're talking about the third step on the three-step program to make $100,000 in your first 6 to 12 months. So you should have already seen the videos. Step one, which is building the foundation. It's your database. It's your online presence. Step two, talking about lead generation, your sphere of influence, what to say and how to say it to everybody. And now we're going into step three. So just to do a little recap, when you start this, step one, you have to put everybody you know into a database. Everybody in your phone, I mean, this is your mother, brother, sister, cousin, uncle, everybody that you've ever known or ever spoke with. You have to put them into your database. You have to get them in there, get their name, get their phone number, get their email, get all of it. All of it. You get that in there, and that's going to start helping create the foundation for your business. I'm going to center myself here. And then your online presence. You have to have an online presence. People are going to search you. People are going to look you up. If you do not have an online presence, you will probably lose a deal because of it, because having a stronger online presence than a lot of realtors out there, I was able to beat top realtors because I could say, I actually helped that person with their online presence. I would be able to cite things and do things and show up in searches. And if I'm showing up in searches, I'm going to help you be able to show up in searches with your properties. That's one of the ways that I would sell that. And so you need to actually have a really strong online presence, like a strong website. A strong social media presence. This is where people are, and you need to make sure that you have that dialed in. Another thing, little rant about real estate websites. Real estate websites suck. I don't like any of them. You should actually not even have a search on your real estate website because nobody goes to your website to search. They usually go to Zillow or they go to Redfin or they go to something like that. You should actually have an AI on there that would talk to people and gather their contact information so you can contact them. Side quest. So back to why we're here, step three. So step one was building your foundation, database, online presence. Step two is lead generation, which your number one lead generation should be your sphere of influence. And you should be using the Ford script to talk to everybody that you know and just consistently have these conversations with people. Now, step three is the end all be all of the entire process. If you do not do this, it is going to be really hard to be successful long-term in real estate. Number three is follow-up. Everybody you know, when you talk to them, that is follow-up. So you have to, when you make that initial call to somebody and you do the Ford script, hey, how's your day? How's your family? How's the kids? How's the job? How's everything? You do that. You take notes. You put that in your database, and then you schedule that for the next time you're going to call them. You don't just move on. You schedule the next call, which should be minimum 30 days out. Why? Because you're going to call most of your people and they're going to be fine. They're not going to need to buy or sell. And your job as a real estate agent is to find out when are they ready to move? Because everybody's going to buy, sell, or rent. They just won't be ready right now. So you need to figure out, when is that going to be? When you talk to them, you find out how's their job, how's the wife, how's the kids, how's the family, how's everything going. You're going to find out that people, they're good right now. They're good. And then when you follow up next month, they're going to still be good. You follow up in 3 months, they're still going to be good. 4th month, something might happen. Somebody gets pregnant, somebody gets married, somebody gets a divorce, somebody passes away. There's all of these reasons why people would have to move and sell their property. And you're not going to know that unless you follow up with them. So in my mind, a consistent follow-up, I think an industry standard for a long time was a 36-touch program. I'm going to tell you, that is not enough. That is not enough. So I implemented, and my wife, who runs our real estate team, implemented on her team a 65-touch program. And to be 100% honest, it's probably more than that. So we normally will call, we'll text, we'll Facebook, we'll email, we'll mail, we'll door drop, Birthday cards, anniversary cards, home anniversary cards, that's something you don't see. Home anniversary cards. Random holidays, Halloween, Easter, like just make up stuff. Like send out a card for National Burger Day. Like honestly, like you don't need a reason to reach out and talk to people and touch people. And you want to do this because it's all about top of mind. Be top of mind. And the only way you're top of mind is if you communicate with them as if they're your best friend. So not everybody's going to be, you're not going to be everybody's best friend, but everybody can be your best friend. And you can actually, did I say that backwards? I said that backwards. So you need to act like you are best friends with all of the people that you know. And think about how much you talk to your best friend. So you're not going to talk to them every day, but you need to talk to them a lot. So much to where if they ever think about using another agent, they're going to have to second guess that because you actually communicate with them that much. 65 touches may seem like a lot, but let me tell you, it is not. And if somebody gets offended or mad because you're reaching out and talking to them too much, they're not going to use you anyway. So move on. Move on. Keep filling up that pipeline. Your goal is to get so many people in your database that you actually need help with your database. And if you get enough people in your database, you should actually be able to afford to get somebody. You should have an average of 300 people in your database. If you're like, oh, well, no, I don't know that many people. Not true. And if you want to believe that, then go out and find more people. You can literally go to a happy hour, join a club. There's so many different ways to actually find people. Glenda Baker, she's a big social media influencer on TikTok. And she said when she was single, she used to go on the dating apps and she would start, if she wasn't a fit for the person that she was in front of and dating, she would just put them into your database, and she started building her database that way. Completely crazy, almost genius level crazy, but there's always a way to do it. So ad nauseum, insane, crazy follow-up. You literally should just be talking to people constantly. I'll give you another example is that there was this guy, his name is Gary. When I started out in real estate, it was like 2008. I think I was 5 years in at this time. I knew a guy that he basically worked by himself, and every time, he's a super good guy, super nice guy. He did okay. Him and I did about the same amount of business, but every time I went to see him, he was walking around the parking lot on his phone. He was constantly on his phone. I didn't really know what he was doing, but I realized later on, and people told me, he was talking to the people, his sphere of influence, just constantly, more than anybody that I've ever met, just on the phone talking to people and hustling out and doing deals and just crushing it. Today he drives a Ferrari and he is like the number one. He does 100 million in sales. It's insane. And he still does the same thing. He's just constantly on the phone, connecting with people, talking to people. And I'm telling you, follow-up is where the game is. And if you're like, oh, well, that person's never going to use me, you don't know that. I have watched my wife walk into a person's house whose best friend was a realtor and had their photo on the fireplace, and she took the listing. Happens. If you think that people know, oh, that person knows so many realtors, they might, but those other realtors are probably not talking to them as much as you are. And that's the key. So I cannot emphasize this enough. Follow-up is the third part of the six-figure system. You have to do it. It is a game changer. And the biggest and the toughest part of it is that you have to do a whole bunch of work now for a payoff way down the line. So you're going to do a whole bunch of work. You're going to make a whole bunch of phone calls today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And it's not going to happen immediately. It may. Most likely it's not going to. So it's really hard to focus and do the work today, knowing that you're not going to get a payoff for months. But that's the game. If you can last and you can be patient, you can be successful. That's the way this works. Hope this was helpful. 3 steps to 6 figures. You just have to be consistent in it and do it every day. Follow up with people. Have a great day. Bye.